Hello, welcome to the Cursed Content Club, the only podcast where we stake ourselves through the heart. Self-harming with me today are Dan and Bob Video Games of GigaBoots.com.
Hi, Mr. Feel. How's it going?
I wish I was dead. Also with us is KZ Excellent of KZExcellent.com.
I'm optimistic about things.
Why are you like this, KZ?
Because I'm on GigaBoots. We're a positive channel.
That's because you're a fool. Today's stake is the 2008 movie Twilight.
This movie's 11 years old.
Yes.
This movie's 11 years old. In December, it was ranked the worst film of all time by pollers.
Pretty fucking awful.
The worst part of this is I technically caused this by sending funny, out-of-context Twilight things to KZ, and then I foolishly supported the idea of doing this, and now I want to blow my brains out.
Fair.
I'm going to die, so I should just die.
Yeah, we learned that
like
from the last
it's a good
movie.
idea because we'll do this and then we'll do every other film. And it'll be our other long-running cursed content.
Don't
series.
say that. People are going to be
I'm less worried.
ragging on Twilight in 2011 or 2019. Oh my god.
So let's lay out our expectations for this movie before we go into it. And reminder, if after our expectations you would like to join us watching the film, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/gbpodcasts to get our commentary track for this film. So, Dan, what are you expecting with this movie?
It's like a light switch.
I'm well versed in Twilight. I've seen it twice. It's not good.
Jesus Christ.
The last time I saw it in SD. Because that's all they had. Because let's be real. If you're into Twilight, of course you own it on DVD. My expectations are rock bottom. I'm not exactly pleased that this has been added to the agenda. Bob, what are your expectations?
I think it'll be ever so slightly better than those Channel Austin movies, but still basically the worst movie we can watch.
Yeah, that's about where I'd put it.
What do you expect, KZ?
I think I saw half of the movie and also a Let's Play of Twilight Seen It on the Wii, so I assume it'll be raw.
So I expect this to be the worst thing we've watched for cursed content so far. I expect this to be worse than the Channel Awesome movies for the simple reason that I don't think Doug Walker was horny when he wrote either of those.
Also, this is a real movie.
How wrong you are.
Oh no, those teeth.
Yeah, I mean, I can't be sure. I can't be sure, but I'm gonna hope.
So wait a second. Let's cover this so that way people know what the stakes are up front. I believe Bob has to adjust his score for the Channel Awesome movies if this ends up worse for him.
Yes.
Yep.
And that
Yes, and I'm modifying the rules right now where Bob can no longer say it's exactly as bad. It has to either be better or worse.
Okay, but I think the Channel Austin movies can still be exactly as bad, though, right?
No, some Channel Austin movies can be worse. You can give To Boldly Flee a -45.
Yeah, look, some zeros are lower than others.
So if Twilight is worse than the Channel Awesome movies, that brings us closer on our doomsday clock to having to watch To Boldly Flee, correct?
Yeah, it comes closer to us having to take a week to record that because that's how fucking long To Boldly Flee is.
It's the recoded of cinema.
It's worse.
Doug Walker's like, I know what hurt is.
He walks from room to room forgetting his lines.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but let's go watch Twilight. And we're back. Let's get right into this. First, I will give you, the lovely audience, a summary of the film Twilight before we get to our reviews. Let me prepare this. Twilight is a 2008 movie based on the hit teenage porn novel by Stephanie Meyer. Bella Swan, a vapid, unlikable self-insert, endlessly pines over Edward, a vapid, unlikable fantasy portrayed by Robert Pattinson, who got the role by actively attempting to seem like a self-loathing, pretentious douchebag. An evil vampire tries to kill Bella, requiring her to be protected by Edward's vampire clan. Both of these things happen for the same reason, because the script said so. So Dan, what did you think of Twilight?
Twilight's the worst movie we've had to watch for Cursed Content Club. I did not like it one bit. I'm going to establish it as the worst rating I can give it, which I believe is a -5 on our -5 to 5 scale, correct?
Correct.
And that is what it shall receive, a -5, because it's not quite terrible enough to be consistently entertaining, but it's not good enough to even come off as a basic bitch film. It's really bad. The color grading's terrible. The focus is never pulled right. Everything's noisy as fuck. There's not a single artistic looking shot in the whole thing that looks good. The action is directed poorly. The whole thing's fucking terrible. And this is just me talking about it as a film. It's not even me talking about it when it comes to the writing itself. The writing itself is trash. It doesn't have a single functional setup and payoff in the entire fucking thing. I'm not doing this because hating on Twilight's hip. It is anything but that at this point in 2019. That is a bad fucking film. I've had to watch it 3 times. I am not pleased.
Bob, what do you think?
Yeah, it's a really bad movie. I still I think it's at least more competently made than the Channel Awesome stuff, so it's a little bit more bearable. So I'm gonna give it a -4. It's boring. It's just really boring.
Mind-numbingly so. KZ.
That movie was a void.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a void at points. Every special effect is the funniest thing I've ever seen, because you get to see the power level gap between it and Channel Awesome films, but it still looks bad.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it. I'm gonna have to make an upgrade, a change to my reviews. So this is better than a movie we've seen. I'm giving this a 0, which would have to downgrade Isolation 119 to -1.
You're a son of a bitch.
You're saying this is better than Isolation 119? You're deranged.
You see, what I did was I went into my brain and went, which of these 2 films would I rather see again? And I would see this again.
Are you fucking serious?
Wow.
This is 2 hours of nothing. Jesus.
Wow.
I like this. It's a realistic story about vampires, and it was quite engaging at points. They played baseball.
He's just living that meme. It's fine, guys. He's not serious.
I am not living a meme. If given the choice between the 2 films, I would pick this, I guess. And I can't allow anything to be a tie, so it had to be like this.
What are you gonna do when we have watched more than 10 movies doing this, KZ? Are you just going to die? Or are you gonna evaporate like Thanos snapped?
Again, I mentioned earlier that some things could be a -45, and that's gonna start happening.
This is probably the worst movie I've ever seen. That I've watched as an adult. I'm sure that when we get to the Master of Disguise, that'll take the fucking cake.
The Master of Kino.
This movie is just so fucking boring, and when it isn't boring, it is infuriatingly pretentious. And when it isn't infuriatingly pretentious, it is. This was Stephanie Meyer's pornography. I feel unclean having been exposed to it, because this is the literary equivalent of when a dude writes a story where, oh, ho, ha, ha, that girl's feet got really big because of potion.
Never mind, I remember the color filter. This is the -2.
Okay.
All right.
You're a fucking criminal for even thinking Isolation 119 might be worse.
I'm giving this a -4. I think there's still worse things that we could run up on, but this is pretty fucking close to the bottom. So with that being said, we now have to, in a truly pathetic attempt at feigning positivity, we have to say what our favorite scene in the movie is. Dan.
Yes.
Oh, KZ.
Baseball scene. I win.
He cheats. He just gets it first. He found the only good scene, and he got it.
What a shame. What a shame.
What a shame, Daniel.
Dan.
Listing a scene as my favorite scene would be admitting defeat. I don't think there's a single good scene in this movie.
You've got to, unfortunately.
Bob, can you go first?
I don't think he's going to do it. Okay, yeah. My favorite scene then, since Casey took the actually only good scene, the scene where Belle's dad is getting drunk while cleaning his shotguns. It's good stuff.
That's a pretty good one.
You took the other good scene. This is a shame.
There's all those scenes with the Native Americans.
Phil, what's your favorite scene?
Okay, my favorite scene is every single time the very transparent product placement of Rainier beer was utilized.
Now, wait a second.
There are-
If I remember rules from prior episodes, you couldn't use the every time blank happens as your favorite scene. I could
Okay,
have
then I'll
sworn
pick
we
a
established
specific
that.
one. Then I'll pick a specific one. My specific favorite one is when Bella is sexually assaulted by 4 men and who are drunk off their ass but are carrying a 6-pack of Rainier beer that has 1 can missing.
And there we go. There goes the only scene I could vaguely even feign to enjoy.
Or remember.
I like the scene where Bella was on screen and Edward was too, and there was a bad special effect and neither of them could act. You know
Man,
the one.
Again, the whole
I'm gonna
It's
need
really
you
a-
to, I'm gonna need you to try a bit more here, Dan.
There might have been trees, but yeah, that was my favorite scene, Bob.
But there's the apple scene.
I feel like back in the day, I appreciated the apple scene more, but it honestly wasn't even funny for me this time. Like,
That was my second choice for best scene.
yeah.
Because you've seen this 3 times, so you're like, oh, this scene is in the first 10 minutes. I might as well just blow my own brains out.
Yeah.
That part when we finally checked the time was probably the darkest moment in our lives.
How are there 30 minutes left?
You know what? Okay, I'll say my favorite scene is the one that takes place at the industrial building, the weird refinery-like area, and it's shot with Dutch angles and extreme lighting, and it comes off as like the Sandstorm music video. It has them running in snap cuts and whip pans.
Darude Sandstorm.
Yes, the Darude Sandstorm. That's what it reminds me of. So I kind of like it based on that, but that's not in a genuine way in the least. It's just funny to have a film that, at multiple different moments, various people on this commentary track related it to being a music video for seemingly no reason.
Yeah, it had that energy, you know?
It had that weird, like, we got a prop, we got to film this entire video around this prop. Okay, you jump against the fence and you grab it and shake it and yell, and we'll blast you all with hoses in slow motion. Where it just seems like they're trying to make a thing stretch, you know? That.
Well, time for our least favorite scene now. Who would like to go first?
My
Or
least
what is the
favorite
worst
scene is when they go, oh shit, the vampire's tracking us. We have to go back to your house. We can't go there. My dad's there. You're right. So we should go back to your house. And then they go back to her house, and the vampire does show up at her house, but doesn't attack at that moment because of reasons. It's incredibly frustrating, and it makes literally no sense.
That scene is even dumber than you're recollecting, because he goes, Bella, we can't go back to your house. It's the first place she'll look. So she goes, oh, but my dad, though. So he goes, fine, we'll go back to your house. And they go back and do nothing with the father. They just grab, like, her backpack and leave.
It's a really dumb scene.
Yeah, it's
It
probably
makes
the worst.
literally no sense. It's just to have a dramatic scene between her and her father, and that's
It's
it.
just so this poor girl can, like, I've never seen anything else with this girl in it. So maybe she isn't a horrifically terrible actress. But boy, oh boy, it's just like, Edward, we can't, my dad, I love him. We can't let the vampire man get him, Edward. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ.
I like how she's Ed in your head.
We can't go back there, Eddie. My dad's there.
That's the energy she brought to this fucking movie.
You're not wrong.
You know, Phil has a very Eddie-like energy.
Short?
Does anybody else have a worst scene? That
I
they
can
wanna
name a
throw out?
second worst scene. Would you like that? I can do that so easily.
No, we don't need to fucking bloat this out.
Yeah. Heaven forbid somebody lists too many of a thing and snipes someone else's thing. No one on this podcast does that consistently in the least.
Yeah, I'm not
Dan.
a colossal. I'm not a colossal hypocrite who will someday be judged for his crimes.
Bob, what is
KZ,
your
what was
least
the worst
favorite
scene in this movie?
No, I've already directed it to Bob. Bob, go.
Okay. I'm not gonna fucking argue.
God, I'm like, the whole movie is a void. KZ, you go.
Oh, god damn it. Bob, why you gotta pass the hoop to me?
Look, the whole movie is
a fucking... The whole movie blends together so you can't pinpoint a bad scene because you personally didn't care when the scene was playing. Okay. There was the, fuck. Holy shit.
I fucking envy each and every one of you.
Just give me a minute.
I hate you all
I got
so
one now.
much.
I got one now, KZ.
Okay,
I'll take it back.
Bob,
Okay,
go ahead,
Bob.
Where they're green screened to be on top of a tree. And they pretend it's romantic. And they're like awkwardly trying to get around the tree to get near each other. It's just like, what are you doing?
Bob, I don't know what you're talking about. That was real.
That was definitely really right. I'm sorry. Don't even accuse of using green screen that I could see. Because the tree was weirdly green. And the rest of this teal movie.
Well, yeah, it's a tree. I could just sit here and describe the whole movie in reverse order, and that would be the least favorite scene. The part where they have a location for the final battle, and the final battle's a total fucking turd. That's my second least favorite scene. They have these mirrors they can smash, and the choreography and the editing and everything is so rock fucking bottom that they somehow make that not cool. The part where they have a final climactic battle and it's not good in the least, and the other people show up and just break his neck and throw him in fire in the background.
Yeah, no, that whole sequence is just insane because, like, why are you guys running? You have, like, 8 vampires here. You can gang up and kill this guy.
Yeah,
No
it was like the entire last 35 minutes of the film is unbelievable trash that doesn't deliver on anything set up in the film.
This must have been the first book, but as a movie, it's just like, oh, fuck, we're an hour and 20 minutes into this. I guess we better fucking have a climax. Here's crazy redneck vampire who fucking listens to Dave Matthews Band. He wants to kill Bella, I guess. Fucking go.
The worst scene, I think, I'm just trying to think of a bad scene. The last one, where they attempt to sequel hook this with the evil female vampire, but the credits appear next to her, and then it does an awkward fade out, and you're like, this doesn't seem well integrated at all.
And she's the villain for the next 4 movies.
It's like,
How is this?
why is she Thanos?
She changes actors between the second and third movie.
Oh
It's
my
the same
God.
character.
Oh my God, of course.
Fuck you, really?
Yep.
That's wrong.
How does that even happen? They have billions of dollars they're making off this.
Is it just like Marvel? Is she replaced by Don Cheadle?
No.
Damn it.
I don't. Maybe she fucking dies. I don't even know why.
I thought you were gonna say
got
maybe
played.
she is Don Cheadle.
Literally, I want you to imagine the film in your mind. Now, think of
Okay.
any part of it. It's the worst scene.
So I guess Field's the only one who hasn't said the worst scene yet.
Okay, my least favorite scene is early on. There's a scene where she goes to the port town to get a book, and she is unfat. She's pointlessly dishonest for everyone that leads to her almost being sexually assaulted. And there's like, she makes up an excuse to run away from her friends and go to this bookstore, except it's just a fucking bookstore. Why didn't she just go, yeah, can we stop at this bookstore? I gotta pick up a book I wanted to get.
Well, she was too embarrassed about going to a bookstore. That's really embarrassing stuff.
Literally every scene in this is terrible. It's all so bad.
Yes.
And it's not in a way that's fantastically enjoyable, which is why it can never hope to be Isolation 119.
I like the Google scene where she goes and Googles what vampires are.
Yeah, that's probably what they had Industrial Light and Magic do, Bob.
And then she...
So,
oh my God.
That
what
was
we're
the worst part of the movie for Bob when he saw that in the credits.
Now, segueing to Best Actor, Bob, is Google your favorite actor in this movie?
I don't think Google's an actor, but sure.
Well, we don't usually do actor. We do person or entity.
Yeah,
So Google is an entity.
Google is an entity. Now, is he better than the baseball?
Yep.
I don't know.
Is he better than the base?
The baseball has quite a bit of charisma.
Unlike
Does.
I'm going to go with the baseball. Go ahead, KZ.
I like that incredibly hot-looking vampire that's based on an alleged comedian that Dan likes.
That's bullshit. You can't take my
Edward's
favorite
dad.
fucking character.
Sorry, even on this show, I'll snipe your picks.
You're such a piece of shit, you human garbage. The fact we had to watch this is your fault. This is even worse.
No, it was fucking Feel's fault. You were gonna get Coneheads.
Coneheads is a fine film,
Right.
as Feel would say. Yeah,
KZ, you had the lady stand, and you could have chosen her, but no, it's fine.
yeah, no. He wants to take my Dimitri Martin vampire dad. Even though I
Steve Martin.
doubt he's ever watched Dimitri Martin, which is a shame.
We need to watch that indie movie that he's in. It's probably cursed.
Based on the small amount I've seen, yeah. I mean, that's the thing, though. It's probably only cursed if you've seen enough Dimitri Martin stuff to be like, he's a fucking talented comedian. Why is he in this film as just completely characterless guy? Hello, I'm love interest. Really? Because you got that nose, and I'm not sure that you are.
I will say that this is a really good character, Edward's dad, because he just looks like a fucking vampire. He's like the only character in this movie that I feel like
that's literally
had
the one
makeup.
that KZ stole from me. You can't.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that KZ was right in stealing it. It's good.
Okay, well, now that he's taken, I'm going to have to go with Truck.
Truck is pretty cool.
Truck
has a lot of personality.
Truck has a lot of personality. It can't fit a camera in it, Bob. You have to shoot truck scenes from outside of Truck. Truck has boundaries, and you shouldn't step over them.
I cannot wait for Field to go, Shotgun was pretty good.
I'm going to go with a black vampire guy who literally excuses himself from the film
Yeah, that
after
was
the
I respect
antagonists.
that was so weird.
So he like he's with the villains like twice, and then he shows up with the villains at the baseball game, and Dave Matthews Vampire is like, I'm going to kill you, Bella. And then he's like, I'm not with them. I'm just gonna go. And he just like walks out of frame and is gone.
It sounds like whenever you get into a group that's really scary and there's no way for you to get out, and this was his opportunity, because he's like, oh, whatever, they'll kill him.
I'm starting to feel like this is my opportunity and that I should get out. I don't know, man.
It's too late. You have too many podcasts to edit.
Watching Twilight is not what I signed up for.
He helped murder 2 people right before this, but he's like,
they were eating. He's not a vegetarian vampire. He's just like, I don't want to get. I just want to fucking eat humans, but I'm not going to do it if it means fucking fighting other vampires.
right. I guess that at that point he's being reasonable. Like, that's just, hey, there's no reason to do this. This is dumb. There's 100 other random white chicks.
Making him the only character in the movie that isn't pointlessly fucking obsessed with Bella.
Oh man, that's right.
There's not a DC film worse than this.
I feel like every time Dan isn't talking, he's just going through his head like, no, Twilight's worse than that. No, it's worse than that.
Because, like, when I first watched it in 2008, I didn't really know what I know about a lot of filmmaking and stuff now, and writing structure and shit like that. And the film was a fucking miserable pile of shit back then. So now it's like an expertly crafted dagger shoved into my fucking brain. Like, the thing is so fucking awful. It's like the stupidity of the Martha scene for 2 hours straight.
So I'm gonna kick off my least favorite character. First of all, obviously it would be Bella, but I feel like we should disqualify Bella because she's so unlikable and hateable. So my least favorite character is Renee, her mother, who is a colossal piece of garbage. Bella's mother literally goes, I married this baseball player who's 10 years younger than me. Bella, I'm going to send you to live in the fucking sticks for your last year of high school so I can drive around with him and fuck him. And I'm just like, wow, you're a fucking horrible mother. Your fuck vacation couldn't wait a year for your daughter to finish high school?
They'd break up by then. Come on.
I got one.
Go.
Charlie's mustache.
You leave that mustache alone.
Yeah,
It distracted me way too much. It took me out of it.
his mustache gave him character, okay?
It's true.
No, his gun gave him character.
That's true.
No. The gun.
Also, his strange likeness to Angry Joe gave him character.
Well, that was assisted by the mustache.
You know what? You're right. Jacob's hair.
Yeah, Jacob's hair is real bad because it's like cut in every other movie, so I don't know why he has like warlock hair in this one.
Because they were like, Native Americans grow all their hair out, right? It says so
That
here
is
in this
true.
book.
Every single character had that exact. Every single character had the Tommy Oliver from Power Rangers,
Oh, Lord.
who, by the way, was characterized as being Native American.
So, Bob, what was your least favorite?
My least favorite character. Oh man, let's see. I'm trying to
Say what your least favorite character is, but don't say Bella.
Right. I'm like, there aren't any people in this movie. They're all just.
Yeah, there are.
I'm gonna cut this entire podcast to the fucking Carnival Night Zone music from fucking Sonic 3 because I'm in a clown dimension.
Oh, man, that's fair. I don't.
I'm gonna do a photo edit of the clown at the computer, but it's just Edward.
I guess
Yeah.
just the villain vampire. Like, he was so nothing.
He's a
But that's-
non-character. He like
that's
he might as well
everyone in
just
this.
pop up, wave, and be like, "I'm a sociopath, so I'm gonna menace you now for the last 20 minutes of this film. Here's my business card. It says sociopath on it. I have no other character. Have a nice day."
I feel like no character in this is characterized enough to dislike, really.
Right. Like
Even the vampire dad doesn't have a character per se.
they try to characterize that one vampire that's on the good guy team is like, why do I have to help?
Is
Like
that a character trait or is that just being awake?
Yeah, boy, it's weird that the person who hates Bella, the one character, is a very stereo cheerleader looking blonde girl who looks like
Weird.
very opposite the and she's kind of more full figured than Bella, so she's like the full figured blonde to Bella's more slender hipster chick.
What?
It's almost
There's
like
no
this
way
whole
Stephanie
movie was
Meyer was projecting.
There's no way that this whole movie is a really very shallow, poorly disguised power fantasy of a single person.
No. What do you think?
Least favorite person in the film, Stephanie Meyer. She's in that one shot, and I knew it was fucking her before I looked it up or anything. I went, "That's you, bitch." They didn't ask any other fucking person.
Dan's just the skull. I see you, bitch.
Yes! They didn't ask any other single fucking person in this movie who wasn't a main character what they wanted to eat or anything like that. But you're in the foreground obstructing our view of the main characters partially, and they ask, "Oh, I'll be right out with your veggie plate." Oh, she eats vegetarian just like the main character.
I think she literally says, "Here's your veggie plate, Stephanie."
I don't think she said Stephanie.
I'm pretty sure she said Stephanie.
I think you're hallucinating because the movie's gotten to you. The movie's power of persuasion. It feels like this movie, every time I watch it, I can't understand it. It's so upsetting. I love it. I love this film because I can't understand it. But yeah, Stephanie Meyer.
Okay, I just looked it up. Here's your veggie plate, Stephanie.
No, why is it real?
Move the show along, Phil.
Bob, did you ever settle on an actual least favorite?
Yeah, it was the freaking villain vampire. Because he's supposed to
still
be
don't
anything,
consider
and he's
that a valid
literally nothing.
choice. Everyone in this is nothing.
I know,
Name
but
something about the Asian surf dude.
there's the rest of them need the rest of the nothing doesn't have to be anything. He is the main villain. He should be something.
Bob, I'm not sure if you know this, but a film should have characters. The other nothing should be something. There should be something in this movie. Just one thing.
Edward's a weird rapist. Is that enough? Is that enough for you?
We can't hang an entire romance film on one rapist, Bob.
Well, they did.
The Giga quotes are really going off the hook this time.
And yet this one,
Case-
all
You
you
can't
have to go
hang the
is
whole film off one rapist.
you
Bob.
can't hang a whole romantic film off of one rapist, Bob. People will be like, "Oh my God, what do you say that about Twilight?" Oh, okay, well that makes.
Yeah, I think when there's literally multiple scenes of him standing over her while she's asleep and being like, "I like to watch you sleep," that maybe your criticisms of that movie are pretty valid, Bob. KZ, please free us and tell us what your least favorite non-entity in this movie is.
I already did. It was the mustache.
Oh, okay.
Since when is
Everyone
this? Wait,
forgot.
since when is this? Oh, okay. This is still okay. Sorry, he said non-entity, and I'm like, what the fuck is a non-entity? I can't
Anything in this movie, Dan.
The script
Yeah,
is a non-entity.
Dan, you're turning to dust.
No, Phil said, tell us
Re-
your least favorite non-entity, and I'm like, what is that even?
Every single character in Twilight. Does anybody have any final thoughts on fucking Twilight?
Yes, I'm really glad we're past an era of everything needed to do jabs at Twilight, everything needed to make fun of Twilight being relevant in the least. It hasn't come up basically anywhere except for weird image posts on Twitter anytime recently. And I'm really glad we moved past that, yet I don't understand why I'm back in that right now.
I have a good final thought.
Go.
Don't worry, Dan. They're going to make a movie adaptation of the book she wrote in 2015 that's just this first book again, but gender swapped. So Bella is a boy and the vampire is a girl.
Don't worry, no one's gonna care. It's just no one's gonna care. Just like the freaking new
Fantastic
Potter
Beasts
movie.
and where to find them.
Yeah, no one cares. No one cares anymore.
The Crimes of Grindelwald?
Actually, those crimes were gay.
The crimes were gay.
Yeah, the crimes were gay. They were gay crimes.
Sorry, kid, you're too good at sucking dick. We gotta throw you in jail.
You sucked all this knob, none of it on screen, and you can't even make eye contact with a man on the actual film because China will get upset.
Oh man, I fucking hate cinema.
KZ.
That was bad. That was bad. It sure is a shame that we've now locked ourselves in for another 4 films.
No.
We haven't done that.
No.
We're not doing that.
They cannot possibly be worse.
The fuck they can't.
They will be just the
If
same.
nothing else, the future ones will have what the fuck is his name? Whoever plays Jacob, fucking Taylor Lautner, is I think how you pronounce that. At least we'll have a Shark Boy because he was Shark Boy in Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
God damn it.
At least it will have.
What?
That's
At
a
least it
good
will
film.
have-
It's got George Lopez in it.
Why couldn't we watch that?
I don't know, Bob. I don't know why we didn't watch that. I don't know why we're implying we're gonna watch 4 more not that's. I don't fucking get this.
I maintain that my next film is Small Soldiers. It'll be great.
God damn it.
You just gotta wait 8 months when I finally get a turn again.
Well, to be fair, the turn order goes Feel twice, Dan once, KZ feels 3 more times, Bob once, but then we have to cancel that and then Feel gets to go again. We need to do the Control-Alt-Delete thing. Then we need to do every episode of PATV, which is the Penny Arcade YouTube channel. All of it.
God, please no.
You all deserve it after fucking making me watch Twilight again.
Anytime Phil says please no, I'm like, fuck you, sit down, bitch.
This was your fault. Whatever. Bob, any closing comments on the movie Twilight?
The special effects are all stunningly bad. Like, you would not believe
Yeah,
them.
they're unforgivably bad for a 2008 movie.
Like, they just blur the whole screen to make them run fast.
Dude, if we put that in a film we made while I was working a job on the side, I would be embarrassed.
Yeah, that's all, like, not even par for YouTube.
It's
Not even close. And yet it was done by Industrial Light and Magics.
yeah, I don't
get it.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I would never have guessed. They must have given them literally no money and then just stuck the name on there.
So here's the idea, right? Here's my thesis. Okay.
What's up?
They had them do the sparkling in the sunlight scene and none of the other ones. And they just had them do that one special effect.
It's possible. Like that one is
Like-
bad,
like
but
somehow
it
they
looked better
could-
than the rest.
Yeah, it's bad, and they could have done better with practicals. But hey, at the end of the day, they got to go, ILM did our special effects. It's upsetting.
Yeah, I don't get it.
This film makes me mad.
did our special effects. Burn it if you must.
The fact that these movies made so much money and are so bad, and on top of that, so fucking toxic, deeply upsets me. They are truly bad films.
Over $3 billion.
Yeah. Like when you tell me Harry Potter films made that much, I'm like, fucking who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, those movies are relatively inoffensive.
Like,
I enjoyed those films.
and then when you tell me something like Lord of the Rings made that much, I'm like, yeah, sleep medication sells real well.
It disappoints me that fucking Harry Potter only made $7.7 billion
Yeah.
when you compare
Lord
it
of
to
the-
Twilight. How did Twilight get that close to it?
Horny moms.
Twilight had more than half as many movies as Harry Potter. Harry Potter only had 8 films. So Harry Potter's way ahead.
But that also means they spent more money.
Oh, but that counts the fucking Fantastic Beasts movies. So I guess
Oh yeah, the budget for the Twilight films is like a third.
Right.
Of course.
Right.
I mean, look
yeah,
at
because
it.
they
I
just
mean,
had,
it doesn't even look like it earns that price. I don't understand how they spent that much. I mean, I'm not saying I'm a film budgetary expert here, but I've seen $2 million.
It's one of those Adam Sandler style scandals of no, they're just paying their friends.
they had to pay a lot to get that Muse song.
They're like Twilight 3 takes place in the Caribbean.
I want to go there with my friends.
But yeah,
That
like,
literally fucking happens.
one, I'm going to pretend you didn't say that. Two, I've seen several films that cost under $4 million made only a couple years later that look vastly better. You know why? They look like real films.
They had someone who cared.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
They-
all there is.
They had someone who cared. They had actual artists. I imagine the later films get people who can frame a shot and editors who can edit things together.
I don't believe you.
But-
I don't know.
I mean, they had no
not
reason to
happening.
do it, but they switched directors every time. So,
When things become more successful, they're like, we gotta,
yeah, they Kevin Smith it up, where it's like the first film Kevin Smith does with his friends, they're like, great, this made us a lot of money. And then the second film, they're like, fuck you, all your friends have to audition.
So I'm
that.
disgusted. I am disgusted, Phil. I told you not to make this over 30 minutes. I told you.
I've
happened?
been trying to move us towards ending it for 9 minutes.
I'm sorry. Go. Whoever's next, go.
I
I think we're
feels
done.
feels it. Feel has to
Fu-
say something cogent.
Okay, this movie was like if you have clinical depression, then fucking chugged a bunch of Red Bull. This movie sucks. I hate it. I fucking want to cry. Good night, everybody.
Hey,
What were they thinking?
I do not appreciate you relating my life to the fucking movie Twilight.
Also, you kept using that throughout the commentary. Come up with a new mean thing.
Nope, he shut it down and walked away.
That's fair.
No, it's not. Where's my justice? I had
I
to
didn't-
fucking watch the thing. When does Dan
Night,
get hit?
everybody.
I am choosing the worst Lumalin film to make you people watch. I hate you.
Why are you gonna punish me?
Because you're back!